Welcome to Parev TV. On Sunday, February the 11th, the New Jersey chapter of the Armenian Cultural Association of America held a reception presentation to celebrate the 30th anniversary of the Artsakh or Karabakh movement. Over 75 people attended this gathering at the home of Melanie and Greg Tufayan in Saddlebrook, New Jersey. Mr. Alex Sarafian served as MC for the evening, welcomed guests, and thanked all the people who attended the evening.
Thank you all for coming. First off, I'd like to thank Mr. Garen Hagopian for the wonderful piano pieces. They were really enjoyable. I'd also like to thank Greg and Meline for opening their home tonight. I'd like to thank the ACAA for asking me to MC this event. And lastly, thank you to all of you for coming and showing your support. So we're here to commemorate the 30th anniversary of the Artsakh movement. So we're going to try to do something special tonight. We thought it would be fitting to hear directly from some of these people from the local community, to have them share a few words and stories from their perspective. As time passes, I consider these stories part of our oral history, stories that should be recounted and remembered.
He also invited leaders and activists within the Armenian community to deliver thoughts and remarks about the early days of the Karabakh movement. The main speaker for the evening was Mr. Artsakh Kasparian, member of the ARF Central Committee, Eastern United States of America. We share with you highlights of Mr. Kasparian's message.
But it also brought a lot of key actors together. People that I didn't know, people I knew as Musgormene, Asiga Ramgavare, Asiga Chenkiderinche. We finally got beyond the labels and got to know each other. Through Karabakh, I got to know Antranik Shahinian, Andy Shahinian. I got to know Haran Gulyan. I got to know many other people who I found, there were differences, but what brings us together is stronger than what divides us. So I credit that to the Karabakh movement in that it created a more cohesive and a more whole community. It also changed me in another way. I think like many of us, don't take this the wrong way, I viewed the Armenians as a nation of losers. What does that mean? That we were constantly seeking consolation prizes in the face of genocide, in the face of exile, in the face of forced dispersion. We were always looking for redeeming value that could serve as consolation for what we had lost. Karabakh really was the first major instance where we became a nation not of losers, but a nation of winners. Okay? And you felt that in the bravado of the Karabakhsi fighters in particular. That was aided, of course, by the fact that they were fighting on their home turf. Boy, there's a lot different today compared to 30 years ago. Then we had a lot of comparative advantages over the Azeris. We knew the terrain. We had a lot of former Red Army officers in the Karabakh Armed Forces. We had a lot of comparative advantages, which unfortunately are changing today because the Azeris are investing in medium and long-range missiles, which make things, it raises the stakes of the game. When there are times of emergency, it's easy for us to come together. And we've seen it time and again. Earthquake, Karabakh, and other occasions. We quickly put the pedal to the metal and say, okay, we've got to do something quick. And we do it. What is harder, of course, is long-range development work. And that is what the ACAA is doing. A number of other organizations in the community are doing a good job, which is developing Artsakh in peacetime, helping to create facts on the ground so that if and when things change tomorrow, we're prepared. And believe me, there are many, many needs in Karabakh. There are needs for wounded soldiers. There are needs for demining. There are needs for political relations for Artsakh, so it comes out of its isolation.
The overall message of the evening was clear and simple. Diaspora Armenians stand united in support of Artsakh. And to move ahead, we need to educate our community about the history of the Artsakh movement.